What's up everyone, it's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and this video makes me happy because it proves my point that I made in another video. A while back I made a video about parents just treating Xbox, PlayStation, just games in general really, as toys, and just being bad parents and just fobbing the kids off on toys, TV, well, you know, consoles, games, TV, whatever. So, Jeremy Hillman, who works in the World Bank as some sort of executive position, he's the director of corporate communication. His son spent $4,500 on FIFA packs. $4,500 on FIFA packs. Now this guy is a director of corporate communications, so he's obviously, this is for the World Bank, so he's obviously fairly important, and he should have more fucking sense than this. But what happened was he had put his credit card information into his son's Xbox Live account at some point. Maybe it was to buy a game for his son. Maybe it was to pay for his Xbox Live. Maybe it was... Who knows? Who knows? But his son... This allegedly what happened was that his son tried to buy $100 player pack. I'm not really sure what that is for FIFA. It's probably something to do with the card game, FIFA Ultimate Club or something like that. But he sorry, it's funny to think of, but apparently his son thought it didn't work and he tried a few more times. Now a few more times leading a $100 pack to $4,500 is a whole different story. So his initial reaction when he saw it was he thought it was a glitch. He had a withstanding Microsoft Office 365 subscription, and he thought that it was something to do with that. But then he went and looked it up and all that kind of stuff, and then he noticed it wasn't. And he was talking to his wife, and then his son called out from his room, and that's when they got into the details and hashed it out, and they figured out, you know, what the deal was. Now, the thing that's really fucked up about it, not fucked up about the situation, but fucked up about where he's trying to do in his damage control or whatever. It's clear that this... Okay, no, hang on. I'm gonna go back to what I was saying a second ago anyway. He's trying to blame Microsoft. Or he's trying to blame, you know, everything. He does accept a bit of the blame, but he's also trying to blame Microsoft. Now, he's trying to say, it's like, oh, why did Microsoft not see how much money was being spent and how frequently it was being spent, and, you know, step in to put a freeze on him to contact us to see if everything is copacetic. And, you know, like, he tried to justify it that that's what most other things would do, which is right, but it's not that it's right, but it's not wrong, if that makes sense. It shouldn't be up to them. Because, you know, okay, we all know credit card fraud and all does happen, but chances are the majority of transactions are proper, legit transactions, and they're not, you know, they shouldn't have to look up absolutely everything, especially because this guy is a fairly high up executive in the World Bank. Chances are he's spent a lot, he's had high credit card bills in the past, spending a lot of money. So they're going to, you know, they're probably going to look at this and say, okay, this is kind of standard deal for this guy maybe. Now, like I mentioned a second ago, that he's basically trying to blame Microsoft, and he did have a quick little statement on his own hand in it. He basically said, in truth, my wife and I probably should have paid a little more attention, but new house, new jobs meant he was left to his own devices more than usual. He tearfully told me that he tried to buy a player pack for $100, but it hadn't worked, so he tried a couple more times. My wife and I accept our responsibility in this. We should have paid much closer attention to his video gaming, and my son accepts his responsibility and punishment. But how many users legitimately spend thousands of dollars on in-app purchases? Now, this is really quick. This is me saying this. A lot. And now back to the quote. And just how much usage would it actually take for Microsoft to flag this as unusual behavior and require confirmation that the purchase is legitimate? Banks and credit card companies regularly do this. Now, I covered all that a second ago, so I'm not going to... I mean, there's all my... You already have my thoughts on that one. So, apparently, he's not going to... He hasn't taken any legal action, and he's paid his credit card bill, so apparently it's not that big of a deal to such a guy like this anyway. So, this goes back to what I said in the other video, which I'll have a link to below. It's a bit of a longer video, but I think you should definitely watch it, or at least listen to it, and just I think I've raised some valid points. That he should do some fucking parenting. This guy works for the fucking World Bank. This guy put his credit card information into his son's Xbox and assumed it would never be used again. For someone like that in the World Bank, that's just fucking stupid. Now, I think that's just bullshit. I think he's just trying to save face and cover himself with that. Because I think he's just a bad parent. He probably ignored the kid more than he lets on. I know he said that he didn't pay full attention to him, but I'm sure it was probably a lot worse than that, because that's how fucking parents are these days. So it's just absolute bullshit, especially because, like, I know I stressed this again, I said it in my other video, if he had taken a couple of minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, to research his son's Xbox before he had bought the Xbox for his son, he would have found out that there's a whole plethora, Jesus, why did I say that word? A whole plethora of parental controls on both the 360 and the Xbox One. And they'll, kind of restrict and limit access to unauthorized purchases, being the key one. And there's the whole age-appropriate content as well. I mean, but, that's not really too bad. What is the issue is, if he had done 5 minutes of parenting, he could have found out that there was things in place already on the system that he could have just done and saved himself hassle, saved his son and his wife and whatever at this point, just to save them some fucking save face or whatever it is. So this video turned out longer than I expected anyway. So I'm going to cut it short. Well, not cut it short. I'm just going to leave it here. It's good to know I'm right, and there's people like this out there, though. It's brilliant. So I'm going to have a comment to that. I'm going to have a link to that other video below. I recommend you listen or watch it, whichever suits you. I think I have some good points. Let me know what you think of it. Do you think of everything in this in the comment section below? Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter because I'm getting it set up, and I will see you on the next video in my channel.